we're live. We don't know if we're going to be in the shot, but with any luck, we will be. Got the lights on. I'm going to turn the head right off for a second.
Was that quite challenging?
Yeah. Did you keep them entertained while I was gone?
No.
Brilliant. So, this is to say that I'm going to come sit in the middle because there's no way. I'm going to sit on this futon. I came in earlier, sat on the futon, and because I felt too dirty to. Well, I don't know what it is.
Futon's a sofa.
Oh.
Like a one that unfolds to a bed.
Well, I sat in this little rolly chair, and because I felt too dirty to sit on the bed because it's so nice and white in here.
Is that one there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why it's all dirty.
Yeah.
How did you only just realise? Anyway, so we'll pick you up where we left off, which was yesterday at about 5:30 p.m. We just rocked up to Morgantown in West Virginia, the night in West Virginia, and Pam turned up, and she came back from work, and had a lovely chat with her. Showered, went out to dinner. She very, very kindly treated us to burritos, and the guy even played West Virginia for us on Country Roads Take Me Home. What was it, Casey Eagle? Or
Casey Eagle.
Cody Eagle.
Yeah, Cody Eagle.
Cody Eagle. And he was really profound. He was on American Idol, and yeah,
that's cool.
and he's and so it was lovely. It was a bit of a playground for the children as well. And so they were really fun.
And we got a beer taster thing with 2 IPAs, one sort of heavy drink, and something else.
One like very similar to Guinness, but it's like sweet and it's amazing.
Pudding.
Yeah, and we went to Walmart afterwards to stock up as usual. I got donuts as well. I got a huge pack for like $2, which I did munch through, which was amazing. And then we came back, went to bed pretty promptly. This was the point where we were regretting being too polite and British because there was one tiny bed. And
she was like, "You sure one bed's enough? You sure I'm again?"
We're like,
I think we've learned from this trip though that we have to be more American about things.
Yeah.
We were saying today when you go into Subway in America, you go, right, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. In terms of, please could I have, now then may I have, please have. It's just like blunt to the point.
Yeah, because they come in and they're so polite and they say, "Hey, how's your day?" and stuff. And they're like, "Let me have.
Give me that.
On to the day. Yeah. So we set off at, well, we always say we to the to whoever we're staying with, or it's like, I quite like to set off for about 7:30. Never happens, ever. Just got into my head now that like if you say
pizza.
Oh, pizza's arrived. Okay, we're gonna pick this up later. Hello. Is it pizza? Is it?
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'll pop down now. Alright, we're back. And the pizza has arrived. We're going to have to do a bit of a cut and paste. But that's okay.
Goodness. How do you need that?
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure what we're going to do with the pizza. We'll probably eat it as we're... what did you get, James?
One pepperoni, one chicken, and many other things.
So there's a sausage and Philly steak. Oh,
I didn't think they're interested in that.
There's a...
What pizza we
I think that's mine. Chicken and bacon. Are we not... Bacon, onions and pepperoni?
Yes.
And...
Right, so where do we leave it? We were
just leaving at... And that's pepperoni.
Yeah, we were just... Okay. So it started off, it's fairly simple, isn't it?
Yeah, so we
Not
set
much
off
going on.
8:15, but we were dreading, we knew that this huge spike was coming, and we weren't really sure when it was going to come. Well, we knew when it was going to come, it was after Union Town and before Chalk Hill, and we were going up and down these rolling hills, and we were just dreading this hill, so we were going really slowly, conserving our energy because we knew it was coming. Hit Highway 40, up this hill, and it was tough. It was not as bad as we expected though, because we'd done far steeper hills in the Appalachians. But it was long, and it was quite similar to the one we did up Helena.
Yeah.
Like a 5% gradient. Just for like slightly steeper than Helena, and for about 3 or 4 miles, and just plugging away. It was hard going, like sweat dripping off you, so humid, literally foggy as well. Went past Viewpoint or something.
Viewpoint, yeah. And
that was amazing. So we about 2 miles up this climb. You looked out, you could see for hundreds of miles the cities, the roads, the tiny cars below. Really cool picture, really cool view. And we cycled on past there up to Summit Inn, and before you knew it, it was over, because we had the music plugged in. I was listening to a bit of Come On Eileen, Don't Break My Stride. I was buzzing. James had the Rocky soundtrack on. We were in a good place, and we got down the other side, and oh my gosh, we had a smile on our faces, like all the way down. Just really sweet descent that practically took us halfway up the next hill.
Yeah.
And I looked at James. I was like, oh, I could. Oh no, you looked at me. You were like, you could demolish a sandwich right now. And I was like, oh, I wish there was like I could really do with a subway. We got to the bottom of the hill, and there was a subway there. And our first break, 31 miles in, having conquered the last of the mountains. And from there, it was all just trail, which was amazing. So we got into subway, had a foot long each, got a really cool chef's deal or something. So I had like this pizziola, and you had a chicken thing. And it was delicious. Talked to some guys there who were quite cool, and set off again with a big grin on our faces, patting ourselves on the back. And before we were finished patting ourselves on the back, 2 dogs came after us, a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler, that were not friendly at all, and we were not outrunning. So we stopped and went really slowly by as they were like about 5-10 meters away at the front of their drive. That was terrifying, and then we got to the edge of their drive, and there was a drop into a hill. We just whacked it on a highest gear and sprinted. I didn't get this with highest gear and lowest gear, because in a car, a low gear is like 1, and that's like
other way around. I think
it's the other way around.
I think so.
And that's just
how
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we racked it on a really low gear, just sprinted down the hill. And yeah, we eventually got onto the trail, patting ourselves on the back. Pretty cool like conditions, overcast, pretty good for cycling. We were going to just cruise on this trail for like 45 miles since our stop, and then another 30 in. And it was just so steady uphill that you couldn't even notice it really. Just a recreational trail. It was amazing. And then let them know what happened. I think we've got to do this in 2 parts. We didn't have lunch first. Did we have lunch first? Where did we have lunch?
No, we didn't have lunch because that's when we did the Instagram. Yeah, what 2 parts do you want to do then?
So you do the start because you saw it. This was the most exhilarating moment of our life.
I'll do sing it. Then you do what you saw.
Yeah.
Cycling along with the river down to the left, looking amazing. And I was looking out to the river, and there were sort of all these jagged rocks coming up and logs.
Yeah.
And I saw something that looked more like a head. My brain, oh, it's a bear. And then reacted to that, no, it's not a bear, it's a rock or something. Looked again, it's like, it is a bear. So it's like, Sam, it's a bear. And so we stop, and it's swimming across the river towards us, onto the bottom of the bank. And so I call Sam back, and we have a look. It's really cool. And then we realised,
and of course, I was in my own world.
Yeah. I was really, we then realised it's a bear. Sam's like, let's go back. He said, let's go forward. And then you carry on. So I then started to clip in and push off.
Yeah. And then this is where, okay, so I had seen it. James said, "This is a bear. There's a bear," and I thought it was like before our first bear encounter. It was up ahead because I was looking off to the bank on the right. So I brake really suddenly, and I was like, and I couldn't do it on the path. So I was like, "Where is it?" And James pointed down to the river, and indeed there was this brown snout poking out, and you couldn't tell how big it was.
I thought it was a grizzly at first.
Yeah, it was completely submerged, and the brown snout made it look terrifying. And it was swimming along quite a pace, had a stream coming out behind it, and James was like, yeah, let's get back and get a better view. And so because I was like had braked slightly later, so I was pushing my bike back, and that's a bit of a cumbersome affair. So it kind of half fell over with the panniers, and like the chain fell off the big ring onto the small ring. So
it's not what you want when there's a bear.
Yeah, exactly. So I was in a mess, and then the bear, and then James was like, "It's getting onto the bank," and I looked, and the bear was out of the river, and it was disappearing. And James was like, "Let's go." To walk, because the bear was like about probably 10 metres in front of us. That's where it was coming up, and it was obviously about 30 metres down on the bank, and the bank was steep, and so we didn't know where it was going to go, and James pushed off ahead, and I was obviously like, let's obviously go the other way to where the bear is. And he was like, let's get past it. I was like, oh no. And so I was like, James, wait for me, because my gears messed up, all the rest of it, on a high gear, so I couldn't go that. I had no chance I was outrunning it, and James was up ahead. So I cycled as fast as I could to try and catch up. And then the bear, and James was past the point at which the bear entered the bank, and the bear suddenly, literally, this was like 5-10 seconds later, it'd come up this 30 metre like really steep bank, and I saw a brown snout appear out of the bushes just 2 metres to my left, and my heart was in my mouth. I've never used that expression in a more apt sense. And I thought we were just patting ourselves on the back and we'd done this big hill, and I thought this is it, this might be it. And then I was just at the mercy of this bear and couldn't really see much of it. It was just a blur, and then it turned in one fluid motion, and somehow, for some reason, it was more scared of us.
Yeah, it was a black bear, so they're supposed to be more scared. And then I've been cycling along. I turned around to look at Sam to see where he was. And then I heard this rustling. I hadn't seen it come up the bank. And the next minute, 2 metres off to my left, and I cycled alongside it for 10-15 seconds, which was actually awesome. It was so cool. Bear running, and then I braked, and it carried on, and then crossed the path about 10 minutes ahead. Running up the hill.
What was funny was I said, James, wait up. And he looked behind and carried on cycling. His brain and his thing were in two different, because you can see he was kind of waiting, but also the pedals were still going. So the bear turned alongside me, and I was still in a state of panic, so I had no idea what was going to happen. It ran past me and up to James, and it was quick. It was going through the undergrowth, so powerful, and to run faster than we were cycling and through the undergrowth. And then it was only when it leapt out in front of the track, and I could see the bottom of its paws. Literally could see the bottom of its paws. That's how close it was, and it was bounding along kind of sideways like that. That I kind of breathed out a sigh of relief. And James is officially relieved of GoPro duties, because not only did he not get the hill, but also not the black bear. But it was amazing.
It was really cool. And then we were buzzed off that for about half an hour chatting.
Yeah, literally.
Then we stopped for lunch.
James and his gap year chat. He's found his spirit animal.
I was joking.
Yeah, no.
Honestly. But then we stopped for lunch at, can you remember what it's called? Rockwood.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice. And as we left, it started to rain.
Yeah.
And then it progressed to rain a lot. And when you're on the trails, they're alright so long as it's not raining. And we just got absolutely soaked.
Because we had 38 miles left to go.
Yeah. Then the navigation stopped.
Yeah.
We didn't have any service.
Oh, because my phone crashed, and so I had to reboot, and then by that point, no service, so I couldn't reload the map. We almost fell over as well through one patch of mud. It was because the trail would get so bad in these conditions. So then we decided we'd turn off.
Yeah. Onto the road, and then just followed the road basically all the way in, still soaked, hitting the main highway, Cumberland Highway, and just followed that all the way into Cumberland. And actually there were two. We thought we were done with climbing for the day, but Graf and said no more. And then just before, probably 10 miles out of Cumberland, hit this huge hill, which was probably about half what it was this morning. So it's a long climb up, then lovely downhill, flat, winding, and then just when we thought
9% gradient for 4 miles.
Yeah, all stretched out. The truck's put your brakes on, and then just before we got here, we thought we'd done winding through Cumberland. We saw the hotel we're at on top of a hill, so then we had to climb all the way up. And then we checked in. We were slightly worried about checking in because we were covered in mud and soaking in our bikes. The lady was lovely. Our bikes downstairs, locked in the conference room. And then we had a swim, which was awesome after a shower. Sam finally shaved, thank God.
That beard was awful. I'm not doing me any favours.
and then we basically just sat here watching TV. We're now eating pizza. There's a buffet breakfast tomorrow from 6 to 10, so Sam wants to get there at 6 and leave at 10. And then tomorrow's on the trailway, so hopefully the weather will hold off. Doesn't look like it, to be fair. And we'll be on the trail for about 110 miles into Harper's Ferry. And then after that, 60 miles to DC. So we're almost there. Treated ourselves tonight with this.
Yeah, feeling positive. This was a big celebration out of the mountains into the final stage. So we're gassed. We're gonna chill out this evening, get up early for buffet breakfast tomorrow, and have hopefully a fairly steady day. Only 1,000 up and 1,000 down, which is a fifth of what we did today, just to put that in proportion, or even less than that. So yeah, we'll update you when we get to Harper's Ferry, and we're one day away from DC.
So close.